So the market seems very pleased with what you've said. Your stock is up very strongly, up by more than 7% today. How much visibility do you have about the future performance of Valeo?
There's two dimensions. The first one is a very short term, where we're impacted by the semiconductor shortage, and we probably the market lost 10% production in the first half of the year because of the semiconductor shortage. That should ease step by step until the end of the year. That's what we see. On the longer term, we have positioned Valeo very well on two market segments that are growing very fast: the electrification of the powertrain, low and high voltage, and the ADAS. And on those two topics, Valeo is clearly the worldwide leader.
Okay, on the first of those, you talk about your expectation that the chip shortage will ease by the end of 2021. Why do you think that, Jacques? What gives you the level of assurance to make that statement? Have you had conversations with suppliers who have indicated this?
We have a daily conversation with our suppliers, of course. There were three events in a market that was very tight, three events. What happened in Texas, the fact that a semiconductor factory from Renesas burnt in Japan, and the lockdown in Malaysia in the last few weeks. Before the lockdown in Malaysia, we were really seeing an improvement of the availability of semiconductor very clearly. But because the market is very tight, any kind of problem that the lockdown in Malaysia puts a stress again on the market. But clearly, when we look at the forecast we are having seen from Valeo, we have the impression that things is going to improve and the availability from our suppliers is improving. That's the reason why
that's some of the drivers.
Confident things should ease until the end of the year.
So that's some of the drivers behind that forecast. In terms of the broader picture on the raw materials that go into the parts you make, Jacques, what kind of inflation are you seeing in those raw materials? What worries you there?
Yeah, it's clearly a topic that is concerning. The aluminium, the copper, the steel, the resins are increasing sharply, but there's no choice. There'll be compensation asked to our customers. We have some pass-through for all those raw material, for the copper, aluminium, and a part of the steel, where it's contractually based with our customers, and that is automatically passed through the customers. Some others we have negotiation. But the industry is back to inflation mode, and all our competitors are exactly in the same situation, and we'll have to pass it through our customers, and we need to have compensation for our customers. We had forecasted 80 million net of compensation impact for Valeo, and what we see today is very much in line with the 80 million we had forecasted for the full year.
Okay, so you say that sometimes you can get this back from customers because of contracts. Are those contracts long dated, Jacques? If we saw high commodity prices over an elevated period, would this then catch up with Valeo? Would you have reduced ability to pass those costs on?
Oh yeah, the contracts are very precise. It's sometimes after 1 quarter, sometimes half a year, but that is very, very precisely indicated in the contract, and that is automatic. For the other part, then we have to negotiate with our customers, but we have lots of way of compensation. Therefore, I feel extremely confident that the focus on our product, the fact that we have very good innovation for our customers, and the fact that the whole industry is impacted by the inflation, will be able to have the level of compensation we need to overcome that situation.
We've seen headlines, Jacques, suggesting that the French government is resisting the EU pressure to agree to phase out combustion engine car sales by 2035. So maybe some pushback from the French government about the timescale for electrification. How do you view that?
No, the direction is clear. The world of automotive is becoming electric, either with battery or with hydrogen. It will be mainly with battery. The only question is not the date of 2035, but in 2035, can we allow plug-in hybrid or not? That is the whole question of the French government. But when you look at our customers, most of them are really preparing themselves for a full electric world. That is clear. Then there is only the debate in 2035 for Europe, will it be pure BEV, battery electric vehicles, or will be allowed a part of plug-in hybrid, but the world will be electric, whatever happens.
And which would be better for Valeo?
We are very well positioned for both. As a matter of fact, I should have said three, the low voltage and the high voltage. For the high voltage, both on hybrid and on purely electric cars. For us, it's relatively equal whether it is with or without the plug-in hybrid. But we see and we prepare ourselves, and we have invested a lot in a common joint venture with our partner Siemens into the high voltage for motor, for inverter, for onboard charger. And we are investing a lot, and we are positioning ourselves for the full electric world in Europe, in China, in North America. And therefore, the market will grow tremendously in the years to come.
How able are you, Jacques, to do all of the capital expenditure, all the investment that you want to do at this point? We sit here at a real pivot point for the auto industry. Big investment, big change is coming, big investment is needed. Are you able to do everything you want to do on that front?
Yes, we have the balance sheet that allows us to really finance all the capex we need, both in electrification and in data. So it's not a problem of balance sheet. In our business, we need to standardize what we call the technological platform. We have standardized most of our products already. We need to do the same, and we do it step by step for the new technology of electrification. And with the standardization, we're able now to reduce our R&D expenses and to reduce our capex for the traditional business of Valeo, including low voltage, including ADAS. And we have exactly to do the same for Valeo Siemens in the years to come. So that is absolutely key: standardization of R&D, standardization of our capex, and then we'll be able to finance our growth potential.